Good. We're glad to have you.
Thank
It's
you.
really exciting. I'm really nervous because big fan.
Oh, don't be nervous.
We were
I don't
just-
bite.
No, that's good. All right.
Actually, I do bite, but not you.
But not the nice radio hosts. Okay. Well, listen, you're at the new arena tonight, right?
Yeah, I
In
think
Oakland?
Johnny. Yeah, that's right.
New arena in Oakland tonight, and it's the Plugged Tour. And I have tons of questions for you from fans and listeners and people that they emailed and they faxed and all kinds of stuff like that. So most of my questions are going to be not my questions, but listener questions and Tori file questions. Is that okay?
Okey-doke.
Sound pretty good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, I guess there's like a whole lot of questions right here about the tour itself because you're doing something new for the first time. You're doing the full band. So tell us all about that, how you like it.
Well, the guys have become really like brothers. They're, first of all, wonderful musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And always when you're learning to play with people at first, it's a bit tricky because, you can't read everybody. You don't know people's moods and stuff when you just first get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know if somebody's had a bad night or had a bad phone call with a girlfriend, or all that really changes the show, actually. So usually one of us is more in control than the others every night. There's always one of us that's doing pretty good.
One's the mom.
Yeah, one is usually holding ground for everybody. And that's our benchmark of where we have to rise to as players.
Do you like that? Is that a lot different for you?
Well, before I was always having to be everything, even though I couldn't do everything very well. I mean, I did a very mediocre Bootsy Collins, but I was trying to channel him in my left hand when it was just me and the piano. So now, it's just pretty neat having guys that do what they do really, really well, and you work as a unit.
So for the most part, you enjoy it, I guess.
Love, yeah,
Right.
I love it.
That's what one of these questions here that went on to say, 3 other beings are on the stage with you now, Tori. Do you miss the freedom to improvise that you had when you were solo? Do you think that's changed your freedom to improvise?
I'm starting to improvise. Just the other night, last show, I don't know what happened, Johnny. Did you hear that Oh Susanna? I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I started doing this rendition of Oh Susanna. It was all that weed in Eugene. I wasn't smoking, but it was something was wafting up to the stage. You know that northern stuff, they say it's quite strong, but somehow I started going back to those southern ballads. I don't know what got into me.
Oh Susanna.
So, yeah, we're starting to improvise. There it is.
Okay. So it hasn't really, gone away for good.
No,
You're
not
just
for
not
good. Always when you're doing something different, there are going to be shifts and changes. But as you get to know people, you're going to do what you love doing. I mean, you can't get away from the thing that you love doing, and I love to improvise, so that's going to come into play.
So you think for the most part, it's really been a positive experience to have a full band?
Yeah, it's very challenging because, first of all, I consider myself a player more than, say, a singer. And it took me a long time to have the confidence to play with other players in this league. And that was just, I wasn't ready till I was ready. But I'm happiest when I'm playing with people that are pushing me, and hopefully I'm pushing them. And that's when everybody kind of improves,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, as far as the larger audiences and the larger arena type, venues, how do you like that?
Every night's different.
Mm-hmm.
When we're outside, that's completely different. If it's a small outside place to a large outside place, I don't do the set until 20 minutes before I walk on. So there's a beginning and an end to the show that's consistent no matter where I'm playing. But what happens in the middle is very dependent on what I'm feeling from the audience. And usually in the arenas, they want a very primal, Dionysian, they want stuff to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about hold hands, have Oreo cookies, and sing Kumbaya. You know what I mean?
So do you prefer
It's
that?
a whole different thing. I like the arenas. It's where I think you really. You don't know if you can play them until you play them. I didn't know if I could do it till I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because your container has to get bigger. I mean, your internal container, the power of your voice, the power as a player. The sound system doesn't carry you. The force that I put in is twice as much as when I'm doing a theater, because it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that it would be that until I had to do it.
So you're still kind of learning the ropes.
Kind of.
In a way.
But I think you immediately know that you have to have 2 plugs instead of 1. You have to plug in.
Right. Twice as much.
Yeah.
Okay, this person wanted to know if from now on, are you going to be touring only with a band, or will you still perform some shows just you and the piano?
Well, this tour is definitely the plug tour, and I think we go until mid-December. Well, Johnny, what would that have been? Like 150 shows by the time we will have finished, or more, since mid-April. And then after that, I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about putting out a live album of this tour, because there's so many terrible bootlegs.
It's the next question.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What are your plans for after the tour? And this person heard that you'll put out a live CD, and they want to know if they will have to wait another 2 years to see you.
Probably, because I have to go to a geriatric center and heal.
Take a little time off. Okay, well, are we ready to maybe hear something?
I usually don't play a lot of B-sides on radio, but I've just gotten into it lately. These songs don't get heard much, and it's not that I don't like them. I usually like them better than any of my albums, but it's that weird thing about your favorite things you don't put on your albums.
Right.
It's a strange thing. So this is a B-side that came out a few months ago, and the song's called Cooling.
So then I thought I'd make some plans, but Fire thought she'd really rather be water instead. And Peggy got a message for me from Jesus, and I've heard every word that you have said, and I know I have been driven like the snow, but this is cooling faster than I can. This is cooling faster than I. So then love walked up to light and said, I know that you don't like me much. Let's go for a ride. There's ocean is wrapped around that pineapple tree, and is your place in heaven worth giving up? These kisses, these years, these kisses. And Peggy got a message for me from Jesus, and I've heard every word that you have cool.